If you're a business owner and you are performing knowledge based work, you're going to see a big division that's going to happen in the next 2 years. What am I talking about and why should you care? So, let's say you are a coach or a consultant and you sell information and implementation, right? With the rise of artificial intelligence, computing models, and all that kind of technological advancements, the knowledge work industry is going to be set upside down. We're going to see a big division between two types of companies. Company number one being a traditional coaching or consulting firm, and they're not afraid of what's coming for them. They think we have been doing this for 20 years, for 10 years, for 5 years, or whatever your track record is, and we can do this for another 20 years. And yeah, well, that's not going to work well for you. More of that later. And company type number two being a relatively lean, small coaching or consulting firm that is very much focused on what will the future need. So they are already heavily implementing AI technological advancements to make sure that they can operate at a most effective cost and they get their clients big results. Why are we going to see a division between those two types of companies? And right now, I'm just talking about the knowledge work industry. It's going to affect all of the industries that are out there. But I think the knowledge based industry is the first to see this big division. Why? Because over the past couple of years, we have seen that this is a new revolution. If you look into history, we see several revolutions going on, and the main one that I like to compare this current one too is the Industrial Revolution, where we went from working with our hands on the farm to working in the factories and then working with our heads in the office, right? So, right now, the transition will be from working with our heads to working with our hearts and fully being human. Why is that? Right now, um, if you perform coaching work or consulting work, you are the brain of the operation, you are the brain, and you perform the knowledge work, right? But if an AI assistant or an agent has 10 times more brain capacity, so it's 10 times more intelligent, it is 10 times more um, capable of storing information. Your brain can only store so much data, right? And it's 10 times more accurate, it's 10 times more cheap, it is 10 times more reliable, it's never sick. Then why would somebody on this planet be wanting to keep paying you the same amount that he or she is paying you right now? To me, that's a very important question, especially if you are a coach or a consultant right now. And I think that this big division that I'm talking about will happen in a year or two because people they still don't know what AI is capable of. I mean, a lot of people are just chatting with ChatGPT, and well, that's funny. Um, yeah, it's not really a business tool. You need a lot more than that to be able to be on the good side of this division. So, what can you do to benefit from the technological advancements and to be on the good side of this big division that is coming for you? Because it is coming. You don't need to worry about it, but you do need to start thinking about it right now. We don't, we really don't have time to be sleeping anymore. And we also don't have time to be like, yeah, well, AI, yeah. they, a lot of people, they still think that it will not take over. And I'm not a futurist, but I do know that in a couple of years, it already is smarter than us. So right now it's time to start waking up and start thinking about your business model. What is it that you still can deliver and you still can do in a world where knowledge basically is free, available to everybody, and where nobody, like seriously nobody, is sleeping anymore. Because right now you can still find some clients that will pay you top notch, and um, you can still run your current business model for a year or five, I think. But in 5 years, simply nobody will be sleeping anymore because, yeah, you have a certain time period between two phases in time, right? Like when we went from being agricultural workers to factory workers, it took like 10 years to go through that transition. So with ChatGPT becoming the first AI, generative AI becoming available to like the public in 2023, I think that transition period started, and it might take only 7 years before that is over. So why I'm recording this video today is because I've been thinking about this a lot, and I just feel like I need to be talking about it way more, and just need to be recording videos about it way more because around me I see a lot of people still being underestimating what AI is capable of and what the future will look like. Because it's also a very different mindset to be thinking about, okay, how will I implement AI? That's already a first step. But what you need to do is you need to start thinking like, okay, what will my business look like if we are living in an AI first world where we start with AI, where AI does 90% of the initial work and we do 10%. So, for example, if you are a business consultant, what will AI do in your business and what will you do? Because artificial intelligence, the word says it already, it's artificial. And if you are selling something to human beings, yeah, well, that does not really work together to a certain extent, for sure. We can use technology to our liking and we can use it quite well, but we're still human. So, what we crave for is trust, is human connection, is good examples. So for you as a business consultant or a business coach, the human aspect becomes way more important because the knowledge that you have right now and that you are selling, that will become cheap. That will become even close to free. Because nowadays you can just look up everything on the internet. You can go to ChatGPT, you can go on YouTube or wherever, and everybody is giving away everything for free already. And I see that as a big market shift because people are feeling and sensing that information in itself, it, it's not valuable because it's so widely available. What is valuable, however, is trust, is being seen as a market leader, as somebody that knows what he's talking about. Because if I look at myself, if I want to know, let's say I want to know how to run a more profitable business, I can just go to ChatGPT and I can throw everything in it, or I can go to Grok or whatever AI you might use. I throw every single piece of information about my business and my personal life in it, and it will spit out the perfect answer. Like seriously, the perfect answer. What would be the best thing for me to do? But did it take into consideration that I do not feel something by or with that perfect solution? It might not fit my lifestyle or it might not fit my beliefs, and if I have an AI that knows me fully, like 100%, if in the scenario that I trusted and upload everything, then it might be able to come up with the perfect answer in a scenario where it knows every single thing from my life. But I just don't want um, artificial intelligence to know everything about me. And a lot of people don't want that. So, what is extremely valuable? Trust, human connection. So, if you have a relation with your client where they trust you, you can look up all the information and compile that information into a human report that you can give back to your client, right? So, let's say you would work for me and I would want to know the exact same thing as I would ask the AI. So I want to know how to run a more profitable business. I would just give you all the information because I trust you. And then you can give me an answer based on what you know about me. And if I don't like it, then we can talk about it. Because there will be also a division in types of people because certain people they don't care about whether the internet knows everything about them or not, and there will be people that do care a great deal. So that's just a little bit of what is coming. So, what are the three things that will be important in the coming age, in my opinion? That is trust, and that is human connection and human interaction. Because if everything is available for free, products, information, software, whatever it is, then what makes us still humans, and what do we need to be doing for work? I think those are some very important questions to start thinking about. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm gonna round it off. What I want you to do right now is write down on a piece of paper or on your phone or wherever, how can I change my business model in a way that even when we live in a world where information basically is available for free, which we are living in right now already, and where people can just access literally everything for close to zero money being transferred. What is it that my business can provide that will still make me a good amount of money so that I can sustain the lifestyle that I have right now? That's the question I want you to think about. And feel free to comment on this video. I read every single comment, and I am very interested in how you guys or gals think about these kind of subjects, because I think that this is a very beautiful time we're living in, but it's also a very, very dark time that we're entering for the people that just are so stubborn and don't want to start thinking about this new world that we are going to be living in. That's it for today. I hope you liked the video. Feel free to also comment with video ideas or stuff that you think about so that I can record a bunch of new videos on this channel. That's it for today. Bye. Have a great one.